Are you tired of seeing them? Those distracting spots, cobwebs, and squiggly lines that drift across your vision. Impossible to focus on, impossible to ignore. If you have eye floaters, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you've talked to a doctor, you've probably been told the same frustrating thing. It's a normal part of aging. Or the classic, you'll just have to learn to live with them. For decades, the only real options were to either try and ignore a condition that messes with your quality of life or consider invasive procedures like a vitrectomy, a major surgery with its own list of serious risks. But what if that's not the whole story anymore? In this video, we're going to look at the science behind a non-surgical idea that's getting more attention. We'll investigate a specific combination of 5 key nutrients that some early research suggests could support the health of your vitreous and maybe reduce the misery of floaters. It will look at the theory, what the preliminary science says, and what it could all mean for you. This isn't about a magic cure, it's about exploring emerging research. Before we get into any potential solutions, it's good to know what we're actually up against. What even are these annoying visual glitches? Well, imagine the inside of your eyeball is filled with a clear, jelly-like substance. That's the vitreous humor. It's about 99% water, but the other 1% is a complex network of collagen fibers and hyaluronic acid, which gives it that gel texture. When you're young, this gel is perfectly clear, letting light pass right through to your retina. But as we get older, a process called vitreous syneresis kicks in. The gel starts to liquefy and lose its shape. The collagen fibers, which used to be spread out evenly, begin to break down and clump together. These tiny clumps of aggregated protein then float around in the now watery center of your vitreous. When light enters your eye, these clumps cast shadows on your retina. What you're actually seeing isn't the clump itself, but its shadow. That's an eye floater. They can look like dots, threads, or even little cobwebs. You probably notice them most when you're looking at something bright and uniform, like a blue sky, a white wall, or a computer screen. And what makes them so maddening is that they move when your eye moves. Try to look right at one and zip, it darts away, only to drift back into view when you stop trying. For a lot of people, this is way more than a small annoyance. It can seriously get in the way of reading, driving, or just trying to focus. It can be a constant source of distraction and anxiety, and for years the medical advice has been pretty unsatisfying, leaving millions feeling like they just have to put up with it. That frustration just gets worse when you look at the traditional treatment options, which often feel like you're choosing between bad and worse. First, there's observation. This is the learn to live with it school of thought. The idea is that over time your brain might just learn to ignore the floaters through something called neuroadaptation. For some people with just a few minor floaters, this can work, but if you have large, dense, or central floaters, just ignoring them isn't really an option. Being told to get used to a constant visual blocker is why so many people have been desperate for alternatives. Then you have the most definitive treatment, a full vitrectomy. This is a surgery where an ophthalmologist makes tiny incisions in the eye and literally vacuums out the vitreous gel, floaters and all. The gel is then replaced with a sterile saline solution. While a vitrectomy is very effective at getting rid of floaters, it's still major surgery. It comes with serious risks like infection, bleeding, retinal tears, and even retinal detachment. A less invasive option that's become more common is YAG laser vitreolysis. This procedure uses a special laser to zap and vaporize the collagen clumps, breaking them into smaller, less noticeable pieces. While it's non-surgical and considered safer than a vitrectomy, it's not risk-free. There's a potential for damage to the lens or retina. It also doesn't work for every type of floater, especially the ones that are very close to the retina, and its effectiveness can be hit or miss. Given these choices, do nothing or have a risky procedure, it's no wonder the eye health community has been looking for a safer, less invasive approach. This is where the conversation is starting to shift. Frustrated by the limits of the old ways, some researchers began asking a powerful question. Instead of surgically removing or lasering floaters, could we address the biology that causes them in the first place? Could we support the health of the vitreous from the inside out? This has opened up a new area of investigation, the nutritional approach. The main idea is to fight the two things believed to cause vitreous degeneration: oxidative stress and collagen glycation, Oxidative stress is basically damage from unstable molecules called free radicals. It's a natural part of aging and is known to cause tissue breakdown all over the body, including in the eye. Glycation is when sugar molecules wrongly attach to proteins, like the collagen in your vitreous, making them stiff, brittle, and more likely to clump up. The theory is that if you could give the vitreous a targeted mix of micronutrients with antioxidant and anti-glycation properties, you might be able to protect the collagen network, slow down its breakdown, and maybe even help the body clean up some of the existing clumps. So, what are these key ingredients that have researchers interested? A number of commercially available supplements are based on a combination of 5 micronutrients. Let's break down each one and the theory behind its potential role. First, L-lysine. This is an essential amino acid, which means you have to get it from your diet. While it's a building block for protein, its key role here is thought to be its anti-glycation properties. The theory is that L-lysine might help prevent the cross-linking of collagen fibers caused by sugar, which could help keep the vitreous gel healthy and stable. Second, vitamin C. We all know vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant, but it's also critical for making collagen. Your body needs it to build and repair collagen tissues everywhere, including your vitreous. The hypothesis is that having enough vitamin C can both protect existing collagen from oxidative damage and support the overall health of the vitreous. Third, grapeseed extract. The active compounds here are called proanthocyanidins, which are extremely potent antioxidants. The idea is that these compounds could help neutralize the free radicals that contribute to the breakdown of the vitreous, protecting it from the age-related damage that leads to floaters. Fourth, citrus flavonoids, particularly a compound called hesperidin. Flavonoids are powerful plant-based antioxidants that are thought to help protect collagen structures and reduce inflammation. In theory, they could provide another layer of antioxidant defense against the molecular damage that leads to collagen clumping. And fifth, zinc. Zinc is a super important mineral for eye health. It helps with tons of processes in the eye and is an antioxidant itself. Researchers believe it helps reduce the processes that lead to vitreous degeneration by protecting tissues from oxidative injury. Together, the hypothesis is that these 5 ingredients could work in synergy, tackling both oxidative stress and collagen glycation to protect and stabilize the vitreous. If you're finding this scientific breakdown interesting and it's giving you a new way to think about eye floaters, please take a second to hit that like button. It really helps the channel and lets me know you want more content like this. Now for the big question, does any of this actually work? Here we need to be both hopeful and realistic. There has been clinical research into this specific combination of ingredients. The most cited is a small, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial known as the FLIES study, which stands for Floater Intervention Study. This study took 61 patients with floaters and for 6 months, gave half of them the 5-ingredient supplement and the other half a placebo. The results, which were published in the journal Translational Vision, Science and Technology, were promising. The study reported that the group taking the supplement had a significant decrease in visual discomfort from their floaters compared to the placebo group. They also used imaging to measure the floaters and found a significant decrease in the size and density of the vitreous opacities in the supplement group, while the placebo group saw no such improvement. Specifically, the authors noted that 77% of patients on the supplement showed a reduction in the physical size of their floaters, and 67% reported an improvement in their vision-related quality of life. These results are definitely exciting and suggest this nutritional strategy has real potential. However, it's really important to put this in perspective. This was a relatively small study. While the results are significant, the broader scientific community will want to see these findings repeated in larger, longer-term studies before this can be considered a standard treatment. So while we can't call it a proven cure for everyone, it is an interesting step forward and provides some of the first clinical evidence for a non-invasive option for managing eye floaters. So, what should you do with this information? The first and most important step is to talk to your eye doctor. Share what you've learned, discuss the research, and ask if a nutritional strategy might be something for you to consider. It's never a good idea to start a new supplement routine without medical guidance. Supplements with this blend of ingredients are sold in some countries, but remember, the supplement industry isn't as tightly regulated as the pharmaceutical industry, so the quality can really vary. Now, I need to pause for the single most important message in this entire video. This is non-negotiable. If you ever experience a sudden increase in new floaters, a shower of new spots, see flashes of light like a camera going off, or notice a dark curtain or shadow moving across your vision, you need to get immediate emergency medical attention. These are the classic signs of a retinal tear or a retinal detachment. This is a true medical emergency that can lead to permanent vision loss if it's not treated within hours or days. The information in this video is for managing chronic, stable floaters that have already been checked by a doctor, not for a sudden, acute event. So let's wrap this up. For decades, the story on eye floaters has been pretty frustrating, but the science is starting to evolve. We now understand that floaters are physical clumps of degraded collagen, and that this breakdown is driven by things like oxidative stress and glycation. The old way of dealing with them meant either trying to ignore them or turning to invasive procedures with some serious risks. But now, an emerging area of research, highlighted by that flies trial, suggests a potentially new path forward. A specific blend of 5 micronutrients, L-lysine, vitamin C, grapeseed extract, citrus flavonoids and zinc, has been shown in a small clinical study to reduce both the subjective annoyance and the objective size of eye floaters for a majority of the patients in that trial. This is not a miracle cure, and it might not work for everyone, but it is a science-backed, non-invasive option that represents hope and gives people a proactive strategy to discuss with their doctors about their vitreous health. What has your journey with eye floaters been like? Have you ever talked about nutrition with your eye doctor? I'd love to hear about your experience in the comments below. Sharing your story helps everyone. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next video on your eye health. Until next time, take care.